Not to demotivate anyone though, but I stopped being social. No Saturday parties, no Friday night parties, no Sunday outings with family and stuff. So for about 4 to 5 months, it was just me, my work, and then on Saturday, Sundays, it was GMAT preparations.
So thank you, Viral, for joining us for the success story series. So before we get started, maybe you can just give me a background about yourself and what has been your
Uh,
journey so far.
Before meeting Crackverbal, I was a CA and a CFA. I came from a credit analyst background to equity research, and then wondering about what should I do to climb up the corporate ladder. Obviously, the research showed that yeah, MBA is a good thing to do, and then. But MBA, what kind of an MBA? I mean, you go for an international or a domestic one. So depending based on my research and stuff, and came across Crackverbal's success story on YouTube, and I met Rikesh over WhatsApp call, and then we connected there. He explained me the Crackverbal process and the mentorship that they offer. So I first subscribed to the online mentorship for GMAT, and then the admission part. I would say, Shrikala ma'am, you only helped me with identifying everything. I just had one thing in my mind, that I wanted a B school in Canada just because I have a PR, so that my cost for an MBA would be much lesser for as an international student. So yeah, I mean, that's the synopsis of what has been.
Viral, you are an equity analyst, right?
Mhm.
So completely different background, CA, CFA. Why did the thought of an MBA even come to your mind? So one part is obviously career progression. So yeah, my first question is, why did the thought of an MBA even come to your mind?
In industry, where we see that my seniors as an equity research analyst, and even the CIOs and people who are in the top tier managements in this kind of firm, or everyone has an MBA as their credential. So what happens is, when you are progressing in your career, people usually see that, okay, I need someone who has an MBA because he has that managerial skills or whatever. He has that skill to time things or to manage certain things, which I think in CA and CFA, though they give us the technical knowledge of the concepts and stuff, you don't get that personality development thing that comes with an MBA. Because in MBA, you have a huge cohort. It has different people from different background and different countries as well. So you get that perspective. You get to know people, how people think, which is actually something that you can't read from any book. So an MBA, I would say for me, it would more sort of help me to develop that personality, that leadership skill, to fine tune that leadership skill rather than the concepts that I learned. So that
Right.
was the thought of an MBA.
So I remember you telling me that you have a very hectic schedule.
Hmm.
It's more than 12, 14 hours a day kind of a work. How
Yeah.
did you manage GMAT? Because that's
Uh,
always the first hurdle that everybody has.
Not to demotivate anyone though, but I stopped being social. No Saturday parties, no Friday night parties, no Sunday outings with family and stuff. So for about 4 to 5 months, it was just me, my work, and then on Saturday, Sundays, it was GMAT preparations.
So what was your biggest challenge on the GMAT?
It was not a long time before I started studying. So I had from my after my CA, I immediately started with CFA. So CFA, when I was preparing for CFA, it was 1 year, one exam, 1 year kind of a thing. So I took around 2.5 years to complete all the three levels. So I was almost in that rhythm of studying. So taking up the GMAT was not that. Hectic or not that new for me. It was just I was in a routine. I had to just tweak things, and I am not a very social person, so it's easy for me to just get myself logged in. Funnily, my parents say that COVID lockdown has been boon for me because they don't force me to go out, and that time I started a bit of my preparations and research stuff.
Nice, nice. And more on the GMAT perspective, since quant and verbal, was quant your forte or verbal your forte,
I
or
would
where did you
say
struggle the most?
I would say aptitude tests are not my forte. I can grasp concepts, but the timed examination that happens, I start to struggle. So somehow I had to concentrate on both the part. Actually, it was three-part concentration and struggle. So first quant, grasping quant concepts, because the quant that GMAT uses and the quants that I use are very different. Mostly it is I use statistical part and it's all Excel driven, and you have those models prepared on proprietary softwares and stuff. Verbal also kind of a thing, because after school I think this would be the first time I would be reading comprehension and then answering those questions. It was last I did it in school, so yeah, I mean I had to put in that efforts.
Right. So how did you plan? So I think you took multiple attempts on the GMAT also, right? So
Two, yeah,
two attempts on the GMAT. So
yeah.
what was your mind set when you took the second attempt, and what went in into your mind?
So honestly, on the first attempt when I went in the exam hall, and I was just at back of my mind, I was like, okay, no, this is just an exam. This is you have cracked CA, you have cracked CFA. This is just another exam. You can do it. The moment I sat in, I started sweating profusely. I don't know. I mean, it was the timing thing that was just ticking on like a time bomb or something like that. So I just started messing up the entire verbal and quant exam, and then I knew that okay, I have went down the hill. That day itself, I had decided that yeah, I am giving the second attempt, and then I am going ahead with a very fresh set of thought that no matter what, I have to just concentrate. I will just be there on that particular question, not thinking about anything, what the score will be or whatever the question is. I have to just concentrate on the question and the answers that I need to get on. So that was the change, psychological change which happened. And I would say Arun sir was of a great help, because I called him up and he was like, "You have to do this. Your psychological build needs to be that way that you concentrate on the question first and not the things that will happen around that question. Like time running out, or the next question would be hard or easy, or the solutions that you get which is wrong or right. You have to just be there. Don't overthink."
Right. So more from a preparation perspective, what changed for you between the first and the second attempt?
It was more organized. I knew what I lacked, which concepts I need to work on, and that was basically I got that feedback from the mentors at Crackverbal. They highlighted that okay, because of there was one report, I don't remember the name, that
ESR.
gave ESR reports. Yeah, right. So that gives you a concept wise, the topic wise bifurcation of where do you lack or where are you strong. So based on that, I had mentors helped me identify like what I should be doing and what should I not be doing, or rather, where should I concentrate more.
What was your thought when you finally saw, I think you got a 680 on the second attempt. What was your thought when you finally saw that score?
Okay, honestly, I was like, I could have done better if it had been another exam, but this was an aptitude test. So I was like, okay, I mean, this can help me. Let's see what happens. I was also ready to give the third attempt as well, but then I thought that with the profile that I have, and because of you, how you helped me to understand how my profile looks and fits for the school that I am targeting, I think we can go ahead with this school.
So you already had a Canadian PR,
Hmm.
and you were very clear you wanted to apply to Canadian schools itself,
Hmm.
right? Now, tell me a little bit about the whole process of the whole application process also, because how did you perceive it before? How was it actually for you?
Okay, honestly, I was terrified. The confidence level in me was like at 5% low level. And it was like, why would they choose me? I mean, I have not done anything in my life. CA तो बहुत जन करते, CFA भी बहुत जन कर लेते. Like, what is that differentiating factor in me? I had not had any social curricular or any extracurricular activities that these schools look for. And my line of a career was such that you don't get the managerial level designation to manage the team of 3 or 5, that they will see that okay, yeah, this person has a leadership quality. So that was all my preconceived notions that I came up with. And I remember I I think, asked you 3 times that is my profile suitable, and you were like, trust the process, don't worry. It is suitable. You have to just keep believing and work on your applications. We will get there. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, you were kind of that support for me in terms of the application that went in. So yeah, it was very unique experience for me, because in my entire career I have never went through this kind of things, like writing an essay. I mean, you can write an essay on 1 hour at railway station and 1 hour with family or whatever, but writing about yourself, selling yourself, is the hardest thing that you can do. I mean, when you are describing yourself, it is like, okay, where should I start from, what should be included and what not should be included. I guess we had 3 iterations of the essays that we needed to write. And yeah, of course, I mean, it was my essays, whatever they looked like, it was all because of you, man. I mean, I will give you 100% credit on that. It's not even, I have not even done anything in that. I have just plainly written what I have done and what I think is my core or a strong area.
No, personally, I feel I enjoy working with people who have so much to tell, right? Because I felt more from your profile perspective, you had a lot of lots to tell in terms of story, in terms of highlighting your strengths, and because you were doing a lot of things even as an equity analyst, right? But sometimes the whole point is how to articulate it better,
Yeah.
right? So that was the focus. So once you submitted your applications, you got your interview calls. What was going on in your head, and how did you prepare also for the interview part?
After the interview call that I got, it was like a eureka moment for me, and the last step that, okay, now I am nearing the end of the process that I started about a year and a half back. And this was very crucial moment for me. I mean, things can go down the hill with that just 1 hour of an interview. So you have to be at your best in terms of interview. I remember even for the Kira questionnaire, I had troubled you so much. I mean, I used to write the notes. I used to send you, ma'am, please check this. Is it proper? Then I used to record myself, and I would send you the recorded notes or the video. So I was very scared about, speaking to someone who is really new in front of me and with the Zoom setting. So it's also better to talk personally face to face, because you can have that gestures and hand movements. You can see the body posture and feel comfortable. But in the Zoom, the digital settings, it's kind of a different experience. So I guess the first call we had, the first mock interview session that I had, it was I was very terrified. I literally blabbered some of the answers that I even don't know what to. And when I see that recorded video right now, I feel so embarrassed about that thing, that how can I answer this? And you were like, you were always calm. You were always like, "Hey, you can do it. Just don't worry. Focus on the things that you wanted to tell, and just stick to your story." And that really helped me. I mean, it was really great, fortunate moment for me that you were my mentor, and I could connect with you. I could anytime message you. I could anytime mail you. I mean, being a founder of a Crackverbal, you had that time to reply to me and be available for any questions that I had.
Thank you so much. That means so much. But I remember one thing about your interview, and when you were so nervous about the interview, and you said, "I'm an equity analyst. I'm not supposed to be, articulated. I don't need to be good at talking." And I said,
Ah,
"Viral, this is an MBA. We have to do it. This is one thing that we
yes.
have to overcome."
Yeah. And basically, after that, the entire process of the application and interviews and stuff, actually, I have improved my report writing skills also. In terms of writing. Now, when I write a research report, I think about how the third person who reads that research report will pursue the meaning or the comprehension that happens. So, I guess the entire process of GMAT, the verbal and the quant part, and then the interview process has actually sharpened the skills, which I did not think that would happen. I thought, यार ये तो ठीक है, मतलब इसमें क्या ही change हो जाएगा मेरे लिए. But that has really changed, and that is what I just feel before the start of an MBA. I don't know what will change in next 1 year. I mean, a lot of things would change maybe, yeah. And yeah, I'm fortunate of being able to take this decision, to move forward with this decision, and have those resources to do so.
Tell me a little bit about the interview process also when you actually had the IB interview. Who was your interviewer? What was your feeling? How did you actually plan out the entire interview and how did it go for you?
That's a very funny process, or maybe you can say a smart one, where I took that decision. So they had the IB people had sent me 3 dates for my interview. So there was one 21st, 23rd, and 29th June. I had my birthday on 29th June, so I thought I would play on that emotional quotient of the interviewer, and let's just have the interview scheduled on 29th. So I scheduled the 29th June interview, and my interviewer was Robin McDowell. I think that's how I can pronounce her name. So she was very friendly. I mean, I had heard about her. She's very friendly, and she's very receiving in terms of your answers, and she'll not grill you literally in terms of the interview. She really is there to know you, whether you are a good fit. I mean, you can do what Ivy has, I mean, in terms of the rigorous curriculum that they have, and then in the job market when you are scouting and networking. So, so yeah, my interview started with that, and I was very smart to turn around with the first line that I am very excited to start this interview and give the interview on my birthday, and that I think stick around with her, and she was like with an entire interview, and after the interview as well, she was like, it was really great, and that you were so excited about the interview process for this 1 hour on your birthday. I mean, I have seen people postponing the interview just because it's their birthday. And I was like, it's my birthday. I mean, if I get an IV admit, there is no bigger gift than that. So that was a kind of a incidentally lucky thing that happened to me. Otherwise, the interview process was very conversational. It was more sort of what I did, why an MBA, why IV, what are you looking after the 1 year at Ivy? What are your career plans? How will you be, scouting? How would you be networking? How are you good in team setting? How are your leadership skills? I mean, in terms of what happens if someone is not performing up to their mark, how would you deal with that? What are your other curriculars if you do anything apart from that? So I think so I liked the history, and that also went out in the application essays as well. So we had a bit of a chat there. I mean, she was very happy, kind of not happy, but she was like very
Curious.
curious about thing that, yeah, this is something that is unique about this person. No one tells that, yeah, I am really interested about the history. Everyone has something else. So maybe that helped as well.
What did you go through when you saw the email which said you got an
I
admit?
think after about a week or a 2 weeks time, when I was just at home at around 8 o'clock, I got the call from IB person at 8 o'clock in the night, and then she was like, "Yeah, you have been admitted with a scholarship." And I was like, oh yes," and I was speechless for about a 2 minute. She was like, "Okay, just breathe in and then talk." So I was like, "Yeah, thank you." And it was a surreal moment for me. It was like everything culminating into something good. The hard work, the struggles that I have been through, and the social life that I had ignored for about an year and a half, everything culminating into something good. And yeah, I mean, we were happy. Also, I saved some money because of the scholarship.
Absolutely, absolutely. So all the best, Viral. It was so amazing talking to you. And I think I'm so happy for you, and I'm sure you'll do amazing things after you reach there and after you go through your course. Just keep at it, keep your motivation high, and put in all the hard work that you can, and I'm sure you'll do amazing things.
Thank you, ma'am.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you so much,
Thank
Viral,
you, ma'am.
and
Thank you.
yeah,
Bye.
keep me posted when before you leave.
Yes,
Also, we'll talk.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Bye, bye,
All
ma'am.
right.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.